Last season, we finished in second place, 10 points behind Partizan. This year, we're expected to finish in fourth place and do well again. We're making 1.8 million in sponsorship income. Our hierarchy is also looking rather spread out, and it's good for the future. Last season, we got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We're currently in 10th place in the Nation Club coefficients, and we're losing a bad year this season, so hopefully we'll make up some ground and go up as high as potentially 7th. We're also able to ask the board if we can improve our youth facilities, and let's be honest, that's a thing we need to do. So, how have we been getting on in the first half of the season? Let's find out. So we're in December, we've just hit the winter break, and I've got to talk about the fact that my former player, Olivic, is gone. Yeah, we sold him because his release clause of £11.5 million was hit by Chernomor Vanar, and it wasn't just them, it hit it, a few clubs hit it, but he actually turned down clubs in Germany in the Bundesliga for the tycoon-owned Bulgarian club, which, for me, is saying a lot. We've had a lot of matches in the upcoming months, and we have actually done ourselves justice, winning a lot of games. We only drew twice in the first 2 months, and therefore we have gotten to the Champions League group stage. The teams were gotten PSG, Hertha Berlin, and Puskas Akademia. How did we do in the Champions League? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got 3rd place in the group, and we won twice. And we also drew against Puskas Akademia. So, who did we beat after we were held to a 0-0 draw at Hungary? We beat Hertha Berlin 1-0, and PSG beat us twice. PSG also lost once to Hertha Berlin, so everyone was beating everyone, it seems, apart from Puskas Akademia, because, well, they're not very good. And they finished bottom with no goals scored. It was the first time we scored in the Champions League group stage, and we scored 3 times against Puskas Akademia. We then didn't score against them away from home, but then we beat Hertha Berlin despite being down to 10 men inside 8 minutes. And I'm going to show you this because it's hilarious that we legitimately done an FMing on Hertha Berlin. Yes, Hertha Berlin are probably going to hate us now, and I've said their name a lot. So we were down to 10 men, and I took my strike off and brought my DM on. And it turns out to be a very good call on my part. Who knew we could win with 10 men? We lost 5-0 to PSG in the last game of the group, and Hertha winning 2-0 meant that we couldn't actually catch them. There was a chance we could have done, because before the last game of the group, we were just 2 points behind Hertha. So, turns out we could have actually got the knockout round, but it didn't happen. We're in the Europa League, and it's not the end of the world. I'm going to go show you all the fixtures, and I'm going to show you that we might have been really good. We only lost in the Champions League, and that was the 3 games. We drew a handful of games, and that's literally it. So we've been very good. The cup is looking good as well. We're in the quarterfinals for the first time in a while. We've never got past the quarterfinals. We're hoping to do well. We've got Kurbak in the Europa League, and we haven't got our tie for the Serbian Cup yet. But Kurbak for the Europa League, first look at round, that should be winnable, right? And the league is looking quite nice. We are top by 12 points and have only dropped 6 points all season. We are enjoying the best ever run we've ever had in the league, and I don't know where this has come from or why we're doing so well, but I'm not complaining. We've already qualified for the top half of the table with 9 games to go. In fact, we've already secured a top 7 finish as well, and that's really good. And that's despite the fact we lost Olivic in August. So, what about the youth intake preview? Well, it looks like this, and apparently we're to be expecting a good load of attacker midfielders and a striker. Nothing else is important apparently, but given how good the squad is now, I think we can work with that. I really do. We have sent out 22 players out on loan, and we've got a lot of players developing so well that they could be in the first team sooner rather than later. And the 22 players out on loan, we sent them out, and I think that we've got a good variety of players. The fact we've got so many players out on loan doing well is great. Bondic not doing a lot and not really getting game time is a disappointing moment, but I guess we can learn from that. But also, we're seeing players out on loan and they're getting goals and doing well for their teams. Hopefully we can say we've got some teams promoted. So, let's see what the youth intake looks like here. So, we're back for the youth intake, and we've lost another player due to release clause. Ibrahim Musijar has now left us, and this is a painful one, since he was my first choice right back. and I was playing him as a wingback on support. So you can understand why I'm a little annoyed with the fact I lost him. I tried him in a new contract. He put a release clause in. I couldn't give him another deal, and now he's at Spurs. And the fact he's worth between 37 and 45 million is very painful to me. I would have given him this wages because, quite frankly, I think he's worth the money. I really do. And that says a lot that I can say that now. We got £15 million now in the bank, and I think with the wage of 210,000 and we're only spending 35,000, we really could have afforded to keep him at the club. But what can you do? But here we are, talking about a youth intake, and we've got about 5 players I want to talk about because not everyone's amazing, but I'm going to talk about the 5 players here and now, so let's get right into it. The first player I'm going to talk about is Vasiljevic, and attacking midfielder. Could be great, could also be a winger. And I think winger is where I'm going to play this guy, even if he's probably better as an attacking midfielder or even a centre midfielder. If I can play him in 3 different positions is great, and we could do a lot of things with him. But inverted wingers is what I use, so why not use inverted wingers? But here's a player I'm excited about, and it's Alexander Denkovic. So a good player to have on our side, and I think a good option really is a lovely thing. A good striker. Could be better, but we can work on that. But this is a guy I'm really excited about. Eldin Ridzel. Now, he's a centre midfielder who could also play as a winger. I don't see winger in his options. I just see centre midfielder, and I'm going to play the Mazzala, quite frankly. Or in a box-to-box, but his tackling is not amazing. So we could need to do some work, but hey, he's not terrible. He can play in multiple positions. What can we do with him? This is Armin Arnautovic, and again, a good young talent. Mentors are really positive, and we could play him as a striker, but I also think maybe send him midfielder for him as well. I don't know, but options for him. I just need to figure out what I want to do with him, really. The last player I want to talk about is Dusan Vasiljevic, and wingback on support. I play that every time I play with a right back. It's a wingback on support. He's got the potential to do it. We didn't have a lot of games since we last met, but hey, we played some games, and we lost the Kurbag in the second leg, but won 4 in the first leg, and we won every league game. Literally, every league game. We've also got AC Milan, and we drew against them at home in Serbia. So we've got to go to the San Siro and hope we can win. Lovely stuff. If we can win this game, we've got a chance. And I'm really hoping we get a good tie if we go through to the next round. Barcelona, Manchester United, and Tottenham are in this competition still, and I'm a little scared. So, if we can get a nice tie due to a really bad team, like Olympiacos, for example, I'd love to get them, then we could do well. League, though, we're 14 points clear now with a game in hand. I don't know what's happened, I don't know why we're doing so well, but I'm starting to think we're going to be champions, and that's 10 games to go with Red Star. They can only get 30 more points. 30 more points with Red Star. They can only get 88 points. So we have an opportunity to win the league. And we're doing well enough, aren't we, with that? So I like to think we got opportunities to progress and win our first league title. It'd be wonderful if we could. Because why wouldn't I want to win the league title? It's also that impressive that we are almost so far ahead that we can't even finish below 6th already with the 10 games left. So we've just been dominant. We can get an unbeaten season. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? We've also got Broderick in the quarterfinals of the Serbian Cup, so what can we do in the Cup as well? Let's go forward to the end of the season and see how we do. So we're back, and Europa League was all great, actually. We did quite well and beat AC Milan. We won in the quarterfinal and the semi-final of the Serbian Cup, but we lost to Real Sociedad in the quarterfinal of the Europa League after we gave a 96th minute winner. So, slightly awkward. I want to show you this because we've done this for the second year running. 5-4 we lost. Man United were knocked out. Barcelona are out. Tottenham had Olympiacos, and they take on Tenerife next. Sociedad take on Roma, and I wish it was me. I really wish it was me. And actually, Tenerife, Tottenham and Roma take on each other in the final, so we could have been in the final. Oh, we could have been in the final. I don't think we could have done much against Tottenham, but hey, Europa League quarterfinal again. We're doing good there. But the league is looking quite good, I think. Mostly because we've won the league by 13 points. So this feels so anticlimactic. I could just say, yeah, we won the league. as if it was a prolonged experience. Like, it's never going to be any doubt. And it wasn't. We just lost one game. And that was, weirdly enough, the first game of the regular season. So, we were unbeaten in the first 30 games. And I thought, yes, we're looking good. We got 84 points. Then in the next part, we started to slow down. We drew 3 times, we won 3 times, and lost once. So Red Star broke the unbeaten record, and they did it on our ground. So we are unbeaten away from home this year in the league. And I'm heartbroken by the fact we did not do further. But there's one more thing to talk about, because when the 25th of May, we got to our first cup final. How did we do in the final? Ladies and gentlemen, we won the Serbian Cup as well. So not only did we win the league for the first time, we won the cup for the first time as well, and we've done the league and cup double. So that's exciting, isn't it? Unbelievable stuff. We have actually done what I didn't think was going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, we've done the impossible as far as I'm concerned. A league and cup double in the 17th season of the save with a homegrown side. So here we are, the end of season review. We've done the league and cup double, and I've not done this before in FM22, so we've actually done this for the first time in any save, which is impressive to say the least. We made some sells, we got rid of some players, and Music actually played twice for Tottenham and got a 6.3 average rating. It's disappointing. We sold a 16-year-old because he's got a casual personality, and I disliked him because he was complaining about the fact I was telling him off for being rubbish in training. And yeah, we made some money here. It's good. And you also let players go unknown like Ivan Vukotic, and he's developed quite nicely, I like to think. But yes, here we are. The league is here. We did quite well and won the league when we were only expected to get a top half finish. The board are delighted with our first ever league title. And you look at the form we had, it was just insane. We won 10 games in a row twice in the league, and that is mad. It's so ridiculous that we had such a good run of form. And I think at this point, we actually won the title against Vukovic, and after we did that, we just drew 3 of the last 5 games because we knew the title was already won. And it's good to know we've done it. I'm disappointed we didn't get to the 100-point mark, but honestly, I was not expecting to win the league title this year, and the fact we've won it so dominantly is ridiculous. The Champions League into the group stage was great. We won comfortably against Fortuna Sittard, 9-1. Shakhtar Donetsk was our hardest test in the first phase, and yeah, the qualifying round, they actually took the lead against us in the second leg, and we came back to draw 1-1, so that was a good tie. And winning 6-0 against Passos de Ferreira, winning 5-0 away from home was really good. I mean, PSG being a 7-0 overall in the 2 games in the group was not ideal, but we won 2 games, and both from at home, so we know we can do well there. And then beating AC Milan in the Europa League, that's a sign of progress, I think. We've beaten some big teams this year, and it's really good to know that we can do it. And getting to the quarterfinal was also really good. And then winning the Serbian Cup for the first time ever, it's also great. We've won 2 trophies the first time ever, not just in our history, but also the club's history. So we now know that we're looking very, very strong. Moments to remember, the biggest win 5-0 against Passos de Ferreira, and the moment to remember was a 4-0 win at home against Fortuna Sittard. Markovic got a hat-trick, but the goal of the season was scored by Olivic in probably his last game, I think, for us, and yeah, against Kurabaya. So let's look at the goal. That was the best goal of the season. So this was the goal of the season, and it was the first goal of the game. Militic finds Olivic, and he just goes from there, and that's actually a really good goal. So I can't even be upset. Financially, we're looking good. We're now a 3.5-star team, so we've taken the team to new heights. We got 1.8 million in sponsorship. We're making a lot of money. We made 22 million in competition prize money, and we made 15 million in transfer sales, so we're looking better and better. And quite frankly, this is probably my favorite team I've ever managed, and that says a lot because of how much we've done it and the way we've done this. And this is how we lined up. Nobody got below a 6.9 rating, and Dujovic got 10 goals in all competitions, and now we're in the league. So I think I found the solution to my left winger position problem, and that's great. We've also got lots of strength and depth across the team. Even if Murder is no longer probably going to be playing as a right wing back, because why would I play a centre back as a right back? I had to play him there because Music leaving in January meant we had no options at all. But we've got 2 players scoring 20 plus goals in the season, and that's promising. Accolades was this: we won the Serbians FA Manager of the Season, Milisavic was the Player of the Season, Vukotic was the Young Player of the Season, Olivic had the goal of the season, Militic was the top goal scorer, 21 goals, Milanovic got 12 assists as a left back, Militic got 7 Player of the Match awards. Milanovic got the highest average rating of 7.3, while Iranin got 115 passes per 90 minutes. And Vukotic got 35 clean sheets. Militic has now got 146 league goals. And all of it's been sold for 11.4 million. Is the highest fee we're ever going to receive, I think. And here we are, history in the making. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch. And such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season awards ceremony. OFK Beograd started better than anyone could have expected. And continued in that vein, storming all the way to the title. OFK Beograd had been brilliant since day one. Their early season football was a joy to watch, and they're deserved champions. This could be the best way to end it if we were to end it now, just because we've done the League and Cup double. But what does the board want from us next year? Well, top half, again. So, we progressed quite nicely. We're still a top half team, apparently, according to the board, and they just want me to maintain a top half finish, which is really good and tells me that we're progressing quite nicely. The players don't mind it. We're now back to see who's gone up and who's gone down, and who won the European competitions, as well as looking at our players. So, Novi Partizan and FK Rad both survived the relegation playoffs. They will not be going down this year, while Cordoba and Partizan Sad have both gone down. The teams coming up are Salonika and Modestina, so that's interesting for me to see. And Baka Palanca are relegated just 2 years after they were in the top flight with us, so we might get them out of doing well, apparently, so that's awkward to say the least. The team that won the Europa Conference League, which Red Star were in this year, was actually Wolfsburg. They beat Espanyol to win in their second Europa Conference League in 3 seasons. So Tottenham have lost to Roma in the Europa League final. Congratulations to Roma winning. Unfortunately for Tottenham, they failed again. It also means that Roma are the second Italian club to win the Europa League in 3 seasons. And it also means that it's now 3 years since an English side won the Europa League. However, the same cannot be said for the Champions League. Chelsea beat PSG 2-0 in the final. So one of the teams that were in our group and won our group actually got to the Champions League final. So I guess I now know what my expectations and future goals are going to be. So now we are looking at our players, and Vukotic is already wanted. He's our best goalkeeper, and getting 35 clean sheets is great. He's wanted by Inter Milan. We actually had to turn down bids from Real Madrid recently to keep him at the club. He's also signed a brand new deal, which has got no release clause. Hallelujah. Our best goalkeeper is staying. We are paying him 4.4 grand a week though, but quite frankly, I think it's worth it. And then we've got our 2 backup goalkeepers. We do have JLAB, who's wanted by the Hungarian team. I am not going to try and pronounce their name, but he's quite good, I think. Resolute personality, and Gaidash is also now considered a top level goalkeeper, so I think we're good at producing goalkeepers. I could be wrong. So I'm going left field of this, and I'm going to say that Vuk Simsic is my next first choice right back. And I think, looking at his development, you can see why I think he's my next choice right back. And yes, I don't have a top flight right back right now. Even if Zinkovic is probably the closest to the option, and Raslav Murder can play there, I just don't want to play him there, you know? So Simsic is the man who will be the right back for the future, and he's only got 4 appearances, but he's only 18. I think he could take up the responsibility with this kind of development. Wouldn't you agree? Also, Balic was out on loan at Hungary, and yeah, he got some game time after I complained at one point saying, if you don't play him, I'll take him back. They played him, so hooray. So, this is the problem, isn't it? Dragan Lekic has still got that release clause. He also managed to get 10th place in the Next Gen Awards. He's 16. I'm going to be so annoyed when he goes. I'm going to try and get his release clause removed as soon as possible, but I would be shocked if I was continuing to say that he can actually stay at the club, because I think his release clause will be hit immediately, and he also learnt the trait to not the ball pass his opponent, because he's in the same mentoring group as Hozo, and that's Hozo's trait, so awkward for me. Milosevic, 26 years of age, 10 years older. He's good. He's a good player for this division, but he's no Lakic. So I think if we lose Lakic, we could be having issues, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. And here's why. And I'm going to show you Hozo as well. Because one, Hozo's really good. He's actually proven to be a decent player now, and very consistent, 28 years of age. He's been with us for so long, almost 400 appearances, and is now a perfectionist, which is why he's got a mentoring group. But between Murder and now I'm going to talk about Nikolic, who has become a player that I have been playing. Not amazing, not consistently a lot, but he's still a player that has been really good and has actually got a 7.2 average rating in the league. he's becoming a player I can rely on. But there's one player out on loan that I mentioned earlier, Vukotic, who might be even better. Ivan Vukotic might have become my third choice centre-back because of his loan spell out to FK Red this year, and he got 28 appearances in the Serbian top flight with a 7.17 average rating. I think that might be the best thing we ever did to him because he's now got this kind of ability, and I think this guy could be a beast. He's still 19. We've got options. The centre-back position is loaded with good players. And then we're looking at the left back, and Milanovic is looking good, isn't he? 26 now, but he's a good player. And then his backup is this good. So Meljenic is also quite good. So this is great. We've got options now, and I'm very excited about what we can do with this situation. I think left back, we're sorted. Even if he wants a new deal, and he's wanted by Vustovic, I'm going to try and show you this problem. I can do this right here now. Get rid of this. That's an issue. That is a major issue. I'm refusing to give him a new deal as a result, even if he's got 2 years left. As long as he wants that release clause, I'm not giving him a new deal. And that's going to upset him. I just know it. So, Nemanja Kolom is still our best DM, and I think you can see why I like this guy so much. He's also almost got 400 appearances, and it's really promising, isn't it? And now I look at my second choice DM, and Matija Javranin is very promising. Yes, I know what you're thinking. He's probably a centre-back, but he's been really good as a DM. He's inconsistent, yes, but he's a good player for his division now, or at least a decent player, and that's promising that a decent player is now considered a 2-star player. So we're getting better and better. Midfield-wise, Petrovic is still our best midfielder. He doesn't like big matches, and he's inconsistent, but we are still relying on him, and he's a good player for his division. So he's useful, to say the least. But Romovic is also good, but he's also 31, so I would not be shocked if he's approaching his best years, and we might need to replace him sooner rather than later. He's also got 402 appearances and doesn't have big matches. I love this guy, but I know that sooner rather than later, he might need to be replaced. It is a shame, though, that we've got the likes of Ivanovic, who I think is a decent player. Apparently, he's only a decent player for the second tier, which is awkward. I've been playing this actually quite a few times from the bench to get some first-time experience. I think he's got potential to be really useful. He's unambitious. He's 22. I don't think he's the main choice for the midfield in the future. I really don't. But then I've got the likes of Niko Tovic, who wanted to be playing as a striker. I want him as a midfielder, and he's been playing the midfielder, apparently. As a box-to-box in a Mazzala, I think he could be a star. He does want to be like a playmaker, and I can see why, but I don't like playmakers that far up, so he's going to be a really good prospect, I think, long-term for me in the other roles I have in mind. His finishing is not great, so that's why I'm not playing as a striker. Boban Vesanovic is really, really good. He's wanted by a few teams, including that Bulgarian tycoon-owned team, but no release clause. We got rid of it. So, he's with us for the long term. I think he'd be a star. I really think he's our best right winger now that we've ever had. And Milos Jovanovic is also a player that could be really good, but we need to make sure we give him as much game time as possible to help his development. Especially when we've got Alexander Milivojevic as well fighting for a spot there. Dorje Dorovic is now our left winger, our main left winger. Vuk left us. We sold him for 275,000, but this guy has taken his spot and has taken over the position. I am excited because he is the future. He's already good enough for the first team in the top flight. So what else can I say about this guy? Well, Konatar's lost his spot, hasn't he, as a first choice in his team, even though he's a good player. Oh, and did I forget to mention that we've got Dragan Mehajlovic, who is also good enough to be a top flight player and is already only 18. Yeah, I forgot to mention this guy. He's also considered a promising winger. I think we've got time on our hands, and we've got so many good players to play around with. He's also got a different personality, which is even better for me. Great news. So Beljak's become my first choice striker now. I think you can see why I like this guy. Remember when he signed for us, he had about 8 pace or something, 8 pace, 8 acceleration. His pace has gone up, his agility's gone up amazingly. He's now got 16 finishing, 17 composure, and 13 dribbling. That used to be 10 at one point. And I think this guy is going to be a monster, and the value between 750,000 and 9 million is not even an exaggeration when I say this guy is my future #1 striker. He might already have the spot ahead of Miletic. And Miletic has got 146 league goals in 348 games. So it's not like it's a small achievement to do that. But this guy has been so consistent, but he's also 11 years older and is a good player for the team. So what does that mean for Markovic, who's considered only a decent player? Well, he could be losing his spot on the team and could be getting sold soon because we've got so many options up front. It's ridiculous. But yes, we're looking good. And we got 55.1 million in the bank and a £29 million transfer budget, as well as a 210,000 wage budget. So, we've got options right now. We've also only increased our current spending to 37 grand a week. So we've got a lot of money we can splash about with if we really wanted to. And I want to, as long as the players don't want release clauses. What I'm going to do is end it here. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys like and share this video and it's just got to the channel. It really does help me a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.